And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the playoffs, to the continued playoffs here of the H.4.0.S Galactic Battle. Of course, it's been a very, very long day of StarCraft already. We've been live for how many hours? Almost 7 hours here, covering all of the group stage, and now we're deep into the playoff bracket. We're here to determine who faces off against Spirit in the next round. I know there are a lot of people that are tuning in just now, just off the back of the completion of some other events that have been going on. If you're just now tuning in, this is an offline event. This is an offline event occurring in Poland, only open to those, of course, that can be there in person. And the best of the best in Poland are duking it out here to determine who is the best in all of Poland, leading into IM Katowice. Let's go. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have our blue Terran player from the land of Poland representing himself. It is Miszu. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner for the first time tonight, we haven't been able to cast any of his matches, but now we can feature him here and now, the Polish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Team Blazer. It is Krystianer. And as we dive into this PvT, a big shout out to Iron Ringed in the chat. God, Bobby, God, thank you so much for the 100 bits in the chat. Thank you so much. We do appreciate the support. Hope you've been having a great weekend. Hope you've been having a great day of StarCraft, as the day is still young, and we are merely halfway through the broadcast. We still have a lot of matches to come here. We're here all night. We're here all day. Always, Papi. Always. Let's go, Papi. Let's go. As we're diving into this TVP. And again, coming into this, Miszu is our FFA champion. If you were not here at the start of the broadcast 7 hours ago, you would have seen that we did have a show match at the start of the night. We had a 8-player free-for-all, including a bunch of these players. And Miszu was the champion from that free-for-all. He did come out on top, flexing his mass BC, just rolling over so many players before him. Can he once again replicate that success? That's kind of what I'm getting at here. It was an FFA, it was a free-for-all, you know, a bit of a different matchup, a bit of a different format, of course. Oh, that's going to be a kill on the probe. That should not have happened. Krystianer slipping up a little bit there as the probe goes down, and Miszu goes for an economic opener. It's going to be a Rax Expand, single gas opener out of our Terran player. Meanwhile, Krystianer behind this, getting into his own gate expand himself, is a standard opener from our Protoss, economic from our Terran, and Krystianer, for the most part, has confirmed this. Did dip into the main base earlier. He saw a single gas geyser. He was laying the natural base as well. So Krystianer should be aware that he's relatively safe and sound. Doesn't have confirmation of the base that's being produced as we speak, but should be aware of it nonetheless. Should recognize that it's most likely a base, most likely an economic opener. Meanwhile, Reaper does dip into the main, gets into the mineral line. We're going to be threatening some of these probes. The SimCity too good, though, as the Reaper gets locked in. We get some extra hits, and with the completion of this Shade, we can focus on that Reaper. Can we avoid the Adept? Oh, we go for the Jukes, but the Reaper will fall. Good movement there from Krystianer. Again, really good SimCity, walling off behind the mineral line, kind of luring the Reaper in, and did shut it down, and I believe the Reaper did not see the tech. Now, looking at the vision here, the tech was not revealed. Miszu doesn't know if it's a Stargate or a Twilight Council. Is in the dark. Behind this is getting into a 1-1-1 follow-up. Getting into his opener here. It looks like there's no add-on swap. A little bit odd that we have the reactor on the racks and we're keeping it on the racks, which means there's no add-on swap into Hellions. There's no add-on swap into into Windmine production. Just continued Marines. As we have control of the mineral line, Marine's going to be stepping forward. We will force this back. We will shoo this away. As we did deny some mining time in the natural base for a moment. Meanwhile, we are going for a mine drop, but because there is no reactor at factory, it's a very uncommitted mine drop. As we can see, only a single Widow mine. So with this, we should be able to get into tank production a lot faster, and this is just for scouting. With only a single mine drop, it is not really designed to deal much economic damage whatsoever. It's just designed to scout the opponent. Just a scout to react, to move on into a later game. And again, this also means that Miszu has really fast tank production. Very fast tank production here from Miszu that can lead into an eventual 2-base push. We'll see. We shall see. as Drop is zooming across the map. Back at home, it was a Blink-based opener. Ooh, and we are going 4-gate Blink. And this is actually a good thing for Miszu in a way. This is a very aggressive build. 4-gate Blink is hyper-aggressive build here from the Protoss player, and Miszu has yet to really confirm. Oh, medevac is no, the boost! The boost is too little too late. The medevac gets completely shut down, and we do not get eyes on anything. That is a disastrous start here for Miszu. No scouting whatsoever, but he sees the Stalkers, so he knows it's at least 3 gateways. And because of the early tank production, he already has a pretty good setup. He has 1 tank on the high ground, soon to be a tank on the low ground as well. He's already prepared somewhat for Blink Stalkers. Bunker on the low ground, Sim City underway, 2nd bunker on the way as well. Miszu assumes it's the worst, assumes it's 4-gate Blink, and he's preparing for it. But the tank a little bit too far back. The bunker is exposed. The SCVs are being pulled to repair, but the repair is too late. The bunker goes down, and we take control of the natural. We have a second, we have 2 tanks. They unsiege, they get caught out. Big snipe here from Krystianer. He gets 1, he gets both tanks. The juggling is too good as well. These are vanilla Marines, no stim. No stim whatsoever. The advantage that we once had with the tank count is no longer there. Krystianer, he's pulling Miszu apart. He killed the bunkers, killed the tanks, killed 7 SCVs, and he's not done. We're going for another warp in. We're going for another warp in, another dive into the main base. Again, without any tanks, there's nothing to stop these Stalkers. There's 1 tank on the high ground, but we can dive on it. Oh god, it's so tempting. As we do deal some damage, Marines will be zoning these Stalkers away. At the same time, Stalkers knocking down the front door, knocking on that bunker. And we also come in behind the mineral line as well. A tri-pronged attack here from Krystianer, killing even more SCVs, and we're pulling Miszu apart. Again, things very quickly escalating out of control, and we're still getting more damage done. Late reaction out of Miszu. 7 workers fall. And we can just head into the natural as well. We just dip into the natural. We deny even more mining time. We delay the eBay. And Krystianer, he's expanding, taking his 3rd base and getting further and further ahead. We have 2 more gates, so 6 gates in total. We have the Robo, Immortal production. We have the Bay on the way for eventually Colossus and Disruptors. Again, Krystianer looking strong here in game number 1. And again, because of the build, because of how things did start out, because of the delayed repair, things very quickly just snowballed out of control here. We delay the 3rd TC. We have even canceling the 3rd base. Oh my god, we dive on top of the tank. A bit of an overextension. We will lose every single Stalker. But, I mean, I should say we lose all the harassing Stalkers on the left. We still have plenty of Stalkers on the right. We did overextend for a moment. Immortal rallying in. A bit of a misrally here from Krystianer. An expensive mistake, as the Immortal's going to be going down for free. Did get, I think, 2 SCVs in the process, maybe 1. So Krystianer has to calm down. He has to just settle things down. He's in a good position. We just need to make sure that we cross our eyes. Cross our eyes? Dot our T's? Yeah. That's how we do. Make sure everything is on the up and up, and make sure that we're at least, you know, maintaining our lead. As we do go back into the natural, we deny the gas guys. There are still 18 SCVs going down. And even if Krystianer were to lose all these Stalkers, he still has a massive lead. It's a mistake that he can afford to make. Behind this, Colossus production well underway. We have the Colossi extend them a lance. We are good to go. As the game plan here for Krystianer should be just to contain. Like, okay, we're done killing workers. Looking at the units lost tab, 23 SCVs have gone down this game. 2 tanks as well. And from here, we can just chill. We can calm things down. Contain the Terran player. We're taking a 4th base on the way. 2nd Robo. Stargate for Skytoss. Oh my god. I was not expecting the Stargate play, but it makes sense. Stargate does make sense. It's a little bit greedy here, but we can afford to be a little bit greedy in this situation. Stargate will be eventually for the fleet beacon, for either carriers or Tempest. You see Miszu here just stuck, contained to these 2 bases. 3rd TC now being floated over. As we do focus out another one of those tanks. This time Stim is done. We can force this army back. I was just catching him with the chat. Dot the I's, cross the T's. Less than close the I's, grit the teeth. Oh, is that what they say? I've never heard of that saying before. Interesting. Also, I said the opposite, Papi. You dot your T's and you cross your I's. Let's go. As we have a scan here at the third base location, Miszu aware of how behind he is economically, not fully aware though, because there's a fourth base on top of it, and there's that fleet beacon that we spoke about. Fleet beacon is on the way. We can start a +1 air attack. We can start up a second Stargate, start working towards carriers. Krystianer, the world is his oyster. He can spread his wings and fly. As we do have a decent minefield here. Speaking of, when the mines are revealed, one of them going to be going down. Krystianer about to max out. Okay. okay, I'll get it. And here we go. We're pushing on forward. We have 5 Oh my god, that's a lot of Colossus. Ooh, charge is not done. A bit of an anti-timing from Krystianer. We don't want to throw this away. Against this minefield, slow lots would melt. You have to be very careful here with this army, especially without charge. As we are dipping on forward here. The army coming in from behind. Big warp into the natural base. As we dive on this, big mine shots. But there's just not enough on the ground. And Miszu, he had to respond here to the drop towards the natural, which means he loses control of the base. He loses control of his third base. GG gets called, and Krystianer will take game number 1. GG. Just a very solid execution there from Krystianer, able to deny any kind of scouting, able to shut down his opponent, and able to, of course, snowball out of control with his 4-gate Blink Stalker. Again, just the Reaper was shut down, the drop as well. Even though we started really early tank production, the SCVs weren't ready. They weren't ready to repair. If we were aware of how aggressive the Protoss was being, we needed those workers on that bunker sooner. We had to buy time with the bunker for the tank to reposition, and then suddenly, well, we have a much stronger defense. Suddenly, we have a much stronger hold. Alas, not the case here. And yeah, Krystianer, again, he's coming in as one of the other favorite Protoss players in this tournament. When we look at the best Protoss players in Poland, we think of Geralt, we think of Krystianer, 2 sides of the same coin, where one is more aggressive than the other, traditionally, typically. And we'll see if Krystianer can continue his run. We'll see if Miszu can fight back. Remember, Miszu, he is the FFA champion from earlier today. Can he fight back? Can he force the ace match? Can he bring it all out here against Krystianer? I want to believe. I want some more games. Give me more games, papi. Always. Let's go. Let us go. As game number 2 is going to be taking place on Oceanborn. We're diving into the sea. And can our Terran player, can we make a series out of this? Can we fight back? Can we force the ace match? Gibbs, papi. Meanwhile, as a reminder, the winner of the series plays against Spirit in the next round. So things don't get easier from here. Things get harder as the tournament does progress. And here we go in the bottom right-hand corner of Oceanborn. We have our blue Polish Terran player. It is Miszu. And spawning in the top left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the red Polish Protoss player representing Team Blazer, leading the series 1-0. 1 game away from advancing on into the next round, into the upper bracket finals. We have semifinals. We have Krystianer. Here we go. Again, our series does continue, and we load into Oceanborn, an interesting map to say the least. On a map like this, of course, the rush distance by ground can be quite short. We have seen a lot of aggressive plays on this map just because of how vulnerable the third base is. This third base, again, quite vulnerable merely because there's no ramp leading into it. To get onto the same point of elevation as the third base and as the natural, you enter through the center of the map here instead. So yeah, it's a little bit less defendable than some of these other maps, at least the third bases. So we can try to take advantage of that. As for now, the Probe Scout does slip in. To wind the game back a little bit here, if you do recall, we did have an economic opener for Miszu in game number 1, and looking to be the same opener here in game number 2. See the SCV moving down to low ground, and we should be seeing our expansion in a couple of seconds. The probe comes in, but we will not deny. We will not delay, and the CC is on the way. So once again, economic opener here at a Miszu. You know, Krystianer has options. Does have options available to him, as in game 1 he went for a Twilight Council into 4-gate blink. Here in game number 2 we could go for a Stargate opener, we could go blink into 2 gateways into a faster third, we can go for a safe 3-gate opener, we can go for a Robo opener as well. It's a little bit more uncommon and unorthodox, but still viable, very much so. As we are hiding our tech, this should not be a Stargate, and it is a Twilight Council. So once again, should be blink. Should be blink. I wonder if Krystianer is feeling a little bit spicy here as the Reaper does dip in, and we do get eyes on the tech. This time, Miszu is aware of the opener. So a much better scout here, much better Reaper from Miszu in game number 2. Adept is trying to keep up. And what I was about to say, as we do not commit to the shade, is that we have seen some players go for DT openers. Dark Shrine openers are also seen every now and then in this matchup. Very uncommon, but not unheard of, as there it is. Blink is on the way. We're not spicing things up too much. Reaper gets in, does get a probe. Not bad. Probe does fall, but the Reaper will fall as well. Trading 1 for 1. Looking at the vision of Miszu. Again, he did confirm the Twilight Council. Hasn't seen much else behind it, though. And the question becomes, do we double down into 4-gate blink again? Or do we go for something different? Do we go for something like 2-gate blink or even 3-gate blink? There are different variations of Twilight Council openers, and we have our answer. We have 3 more gates on the way. 3 gates in the main, 1 gateway here at the natural, 4-gate blink, 2 games in a row. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And Krystianer, it worked in game 1, going for it again here in game number 2. Now back at home, once again there's no add-on swap, which means once again it's only a single Widowmine drop here from Miszu. There's no additional Widowmine production. So once again going for and opting for scouting information. Now Miszu, even though we saw 4-gate blink in game 1, there's no guarantee that it's the same thing here in game number 2. So Miszu, he needs to get in and he needs to count gateways. The goal here to count how many gateways there are to recognize how greedy or defensive he needs to be. Now we can see once again early tank production here from Miszu, and he should have a better position overall. Here on the high ground, here behind the bunker. Bunker is done. I want to believe that his defense can be a little bit better here in the next game, but again, it's on Miszu to really whip that out. As the drop is poised to go in, it looks like we were just waiting for the booster reset before committing. And Krystianer, he is pushing across the map. He does have his prism. He's got 4 gateways behind this. He is moving out across the map with a terrifying army. And what do we have at home to defend? We have 1 tank in position protecting the natural, but with the war prism we can gain high ground vision and go into the main. Bunker on the way in the main base, but there is no tank. We're still a couple of seconds away. We are merely seconds away. We will dive into the main base. Tank does pop out. Will cover the production, but not the mineral line. As we do get behind the mineral line, Stalkers engaging with the Marines. Oh, do overextend. Ooh, big volleys going to be going up here on these Stalkers. 1 Stalker goes down. Bit of miscontrol here out of Krystianer as he's focusing back at home. Focusing on the drop, which he will shut down. Good reactions out of Krystianer, but he does pay a price for it. His army, loses a Stalker. Oh, he's hurting a lot here. You can see a much stronger defense overall by Miszu. Tanks are in position. Tanks keep up with the rotations. We have plenty of bunkers. 2 bunkers on the low ground, 1 on the high ground. Miszu barely loses any SCVs. 3 SCVs went down, as opposed to the 23 of last game. So Miszu, he's holding his own. He is now holding his own. Stalkers, they come into the right-hand side. Tank is within range. Was within range. Stalkers, they do find a good angle of attack here. They wedge themselves into the natural. And Miszu's going to have to reposition. Loses the depot. As the tank does cover that mineral line. Does cover the gases. Ooh, bit of a miss rally there from Miszu, as he's going to have to re-rally, reposition. Third TC is on the way. Likewise, third TC also, sorry, third Nexus also on the way for Krystianer. Ooh, these tanks are looking exposed. Tanks are looking a bit exposed. We could try to dive on them. Instead, we go for the Gas Geyser. Secure damage. Gas Geyser goes out. We dive on top of the tank. We get one, and we get two tanks. Again, they were exposed. The Marines out of position. Late reaction out of Miszu. We had such a good start. We had such a good hold initially from the Terran. But now things are getting out of hand. They're getting out of control. This 4-gate blink is pushing through, and we're getting on top of the CC. Force a repair. Tank does siege. Big volley's going to be going off, forcing back the army. And Krystianer, takes 3 volleys to the face. Has to back up, has to respect it. Good damage dealt by that one tank. But the whole position micro here. The stutter stepping from Krystianer. Still denying mining here in the main. And still good trades over. He catches another tank. No shot. Another tank goes down. The boys are being pulled. This army, we're running out of steam. There's still no stim. We're running out of steam and still no stim with this army here, as we can just fight head on. 7 more SCVs go down. Krystianer, somehow he just finds more damage behind this 4th Nexus on the way. We have Charge, Extend the Malance, Colossus production underway as well. Only 1 robot for the time being, but we only need 1. It's Krystianer, he's having his way with this army. Again, very quickly things can snowball out of control. Unfortunately, Miszu, he was caught out and he lost 2 tanks. He lost 2 tanks, one after the other, and as soon as he lost the tanks, he lost control of his main. Lost control of the main, and lost control of this game as well. Again, 4 gates, Blink Stalker defense can be difficult. It has to be crisp. It has to be crisp, it has to be well practiced, and you have to be able to keep up with the rotations of the Stalkers. If not, this happens. It's a good start from Miszu. But the finish, less so. As we get another tank. No shot. Another tank goes down. 1 tank for 1 Stalker. Good trade for Krystianer. Gets a Marine. Oh my god. Calm down. Across the map, we do come across a drop here of Miszu. Now Stim is done for our Terran player. We catch a couple of Stalkers. We're forcing a defensive warp in. Oh my, speaking of defensive warp in, that's a lot of Zealots. That is a game-ending amount of Zealots here. Good control here out of Krystianer. He baits out the mine shell, gets into the main base, goes to the mineral line once again. Distracting the army, and we're just waiting for another warp in. We're waiting to pull the trigger. Because I don't know how Miszu survives against this. Now the scan did take down an observer. Observer did fall. But here comes a death bull of an army. It's coming, Papi. It's coming. And is there any stopping it? We do have a couple of Widow Mines. If the Widow Mines are perfect, if the Vikings find a really good angle on the Colossus, then maybe. As we come in with reinforcements, we force a bit of friendly fire as well. Good split there with those Zealots. As we collapse on the army, the Colossi going ham here, just swiping away at the Marines, at the Marauders, at the SCVs. GG gets called, and Krystianer will take the series 2-0, advancing on to the upper bracket semi-finals. GG. GG, well played. Again, a solid performance out of Krystianer, and a good warm-up. A good warm-up here for his PvT. He's going to need to be warmed up, because up next, in the upper bracket semifinals, Spirit. Spirit has been patiently waiting for either one of these players. The best Terran in all of Poland is up next. I was going to say Poland versus Krystianer. Spirit versus Krystianer is going to be coming up after the break, followed by another semifinals match, followed by a Laser versus Geralt. Up next here on the CranKy Ducklings. We'll see you soon.